Hello and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Let's quickly begin. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari or Campaign for Water and Nature Conservation through video conferencing in Indian state of Gujarat on Friday. Emphasizing the need to ensure water security, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the government is committed to fulfill this purpose through the means of water conservation. While addressing the event, Prime Minister said that water conservation and nature conservation is a part of India's cultural consciousness. He added that it is not just a matter of policies but also of social commitment. Under this program, approximately 24,800 rainwater harvesting structures across the state are being constructed with community partnership. As campaigning for the upcoming assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir gains momentum, India's Home Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah released the party manifesto in Jammu on Friday. Speaking on the occasion, Amit Shah said that 10 years from 2014 to 2024 have been great for Jammu and Kashmir, with peace, prosperity and development being the hallmarks of the period. In Kolkata's R.J. Kar Medical College case, India's top court refused to entertain former principal of the college, Sandeep Ghosh's plea against Calcutta High Court's decision ordering CBI probe into graft case against him. A team of the Enforcement Directorate conducted a raid at the residence of the former principal of Kolkata's R.J. Kar MCH, Sandeep Ghosh, on Friday morning. The Officers Training Academy in Chennai presented a display of martial arts and other activities, highlighting the talents of cadets and Indian Army teams. This event is a lead up to the upcoming passing out parade on the 7th of September. Niti Aayog launched a national conference on universal access to healthcare on Friday, convening experts from diverse backgrounds to discuss strategies for achieving universal access to affordable, high-quality healthcare services. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's flagship initiative Swachh Bharat mission has earned global recognition for its impact, with a study in the esteemed science journal Nature revealing that the mission has saved nearly 60,000 to 70,000 infant lives annually in India between 2011 and 20. In light of recent wolf attacks at Bahraich in India's Uttar Pradesh, control and mitigation measures have intensified. Chief Forest Conservator Renu Singh took stock of the wolf search operation in Bahraich's Harpaksh Purva village. The 20th edition of the Yudh Abhyas 2024, the joint military exercise between India and the USA, is set to take place at the Foreign Training Node in Rajasthan from 9th till the 22nd of September. To celebrate 75 years of loyal service, a cycle expedition of 27 Indian soldiers was launched from Hyderabad. The expedition is a tribute to the soldiers' valor and dedication, with the objective of ensuring public safety and national security. In his inaugural address at the annual banking conference, FIPAC 2024, Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das reiterated India's strong economic growth prospects, citing significant advancements in key sectors. India has overtaken China to become the top weight nation in the MSCI Emerging Markets Investable Market Index for the first time. Indian equities together carry a weighting of 22.27% in the index, edging ahead of Chinese stocks, whose combined weight now has fallen to 21.58%. US brokerage Morgan Stanley highlighted that India's position as the top weight in the index is likely to attract additional foreign capital into Indian firms. A recent report by CRISIL MI&A Research reveals a decline in retail inflation has had a tangible impact on food prices, with both vegetarian and non-vegetarian meals witnessing a price drop in August compared to the same period last year. India witnessed a surge in demat account openings fueled by a growing affinity for the stock market. With more than 4 million new accounts opened in the month of August, the total count has now exceeded 170 million. Indian benchmark indices BSE, Sensex and Nifty 50 dropped more than 1% each to close deep in the red on Friday. BSE Sensex was down 1,017 points at 81,183. NSE Nifty 50 closed at 24,852, down 292 points. The broader market felt the pinch of the sell-off in the markets today, with the BSE small cap losing 0.96%, while the BSE mid cap closed down by 1.41%. Indian rupee rose 3 paise to close at the week of 83.94 per US dollar on Friday. Gold futures maturing on the 4th of October stood at 72,012 rupees per 10 grams on Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on the 5th of December this year were retailing at 85,192 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Oil prices ticked up in Asian trading on Friday, with investors exercising caution ahead of key US employment data. Brent crude futures rose 13 cents to $72.82 per barrel. S&P 500 index and the Dow ended lower in choppy trading on Thursday after a short-lived boost from a string of economic reports faded. The Nasdaq finished slightly higher. Seven & I Holdings, a Japanese retail conglomerate, turned down a $38.5 billion acquisition offer from Canadian company Elimination Couche-Tard, deeming the $14.86 per share bid not beneficial to its shareholders. The Maldives is facing a potential foreign exchange crisis due as the country's foreign reserves plummeted to $395.4 million by the end of July 2024, a 33% decline from the same period last year. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu calls Washington's messaging of a Gaza ceasefire deal as inaccurate. Country's forces withdraw from Jenin after 10 days of violent aggression. Netanyahu called the possibility of a looming deal as a false narrative, blaming Hamas for failed negotiations. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged both Israel and Hamas to finalize a Gaza truce. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock met with her Israeli counterpart Israeli Katz on Friday, continues Germany's efforts towards a deal between Israel and Hamas to end the conflict. The visit marks Baerbock's 11th visit to the Middle East and her 9th to Israel since October last year. In a press conference, she expressed a concern over the latest Munich attack. Israelis rally in Tel Aviv to push for hostages deals, set of fires on a road they blocked, and calling on Israeli Prime Minister to do more to bring home the remaining hostages in Gaza. Dreadful fire in a school in central Kenya on Friday burned 17 students. More than a dozen others have been taken to the hospital with severe burns. In Georgia, school's shooting. Father of the 14-year-old suspect is charged with 4 counts of felony murder. US President Joe Biden calls for a ban on assault weapons. Commitments and promises pour in as US election nears. Republican candidate Donald Trump vows to turn the United States into the cryptocurrency capital of the world. Hunter Biden makes last-minute guilty plea to avoid tax trial months after his gun conviction. US President Joe Biden avoids any remarks. Biden administration is in urgent talks with Congress to use up $6 billion in military aid for Ukraine before it expires on 30th of September. UK is all set to send 650 air defense missiles to Ukraine in latest support. Batch of missiles announced on Friday are expected to arrive by the end of the year. NATO chief urges China to stop supporting Russia's war in Ukraine, says Beijing's assistance has been a significant factor in the continuation of war. Ukraine issues increasingly forceful and public calls to provide more help to protect its skies from Russian aircraft and drones. Ukrainian President Zelensky attended meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group of Allies at the Ramstein Air Base. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius has come in support of Ukraine and said that the government will deliver an additional 12 self-propelled howitzers to Ukraine. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida held bilateral talks in Seoul. Both the leaders discussed ways to strengthen bilateral cooperation. During the summit, PM Kishida underscored the need to enhance bilateral ties between both the countries. South Korean President says mending ties with Japan for security cooperation remains top priority. French President Emmanuel Macron names Michel Barnier as new Prime Minister. Barnier takes over from the outgoing Prime Minister Gabriel Attal, who continued to serve even as the caretaker Prime Minister post the election results. US pollsters support against gang violence in Haiti, announcing humanitarian aid. It further urges Haiti to organize elections next year. Haiti expanded its state of emergency to cover the entire nation's territory the day before the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Haitian authorities on the island. Democratic Republic of Congo receives first Mpox vaccine to combat outbreak. Mpox has been reported in at least 13 African countries. Time to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India. How it stands at the forefront of this energy transition, offering a clean, versatile solution to decarbonize sectors that have long relied on fossil fuels.
Green hydrogen is actually produced when you use renewable energy to power the electrolyzer, which splits water into hydrogen and oxygen.
Green hydrogen has a very, very critical role to play because it allows us to start getting into solutions that work for a lot of the other energy consuming sectors.
India has some of the brightest people in the world and the visibility that the government has given in terms of national mission and side programs. So I think others will find the same reasons to invest and grow deeper in building their products.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue. European Union Climate Monitor concludes that the 2024 summer saw the highest global temperatures ever recorded. World experienced the hottest June and August ever, making it the hottest year yet. The June and August global temperature broke through the level of 1.5 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial average, a key threshold for limiting the worst effects of the climate change. Brigades fight flames as massive wildfire blazes through Peru. Brigade members struggle to combat wildfires in Ancash region. Fire engulfed over 40 hectares of a pine forest. Fires in Peru are partly caused by the slash and burn methods to clear land for farming purposes, worsened by the drought. The water levels of the area near the Madeira River, a major waterway that runs through the Amazon rainforest, dropped to historic low this year due to reeling drought. With no rainfall forecast for the region, the projections indicate that water levels will continue to fall, further worsening water crisis in the region. Iraqi date farmers fight drought, come back to preserve one of the country's most prized natural treasures, which is the date palm. Typhoon Yagi ravages Hong Kong businesses and schools remains closed. 400,000 people have been evacuated from the island of Hainan. Typhoon Yagi will move to Vietnam and Laos over the weekend. Yagi is registered as the world's second most powerful tropical cyclone in 2024 so far. Heavy rainstorms batter parts of northern Italy, causing widespread flooding and major traffic disruptions. Orco River in northern Italy has been swollen and the areas surrounding it are also flooded. Avalanche occurred in Mount Lopez in Argentina. A foreign tourist was killed after an avalanche in Argentina hit the area. Severe floodings continue to devastate India's southern state of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. 26 teams of National Disaster Response Force, 8 helicopters of Indian Air Force, 3 helicopters and 1 Dornier aircraft of Indian Navy mobilized for rescue efforts. 7 teams of NDRF, 2 helicopters of IAF have also been mobilized in India's Telangana for rescue and relief activities. Indian Meteorological Department has issued a yellow alert for several regions including Rajasthan, Punjab, Delhi NCR, Western Madhya Pradesh and parts of northeastern India, indicating a warning for severe weather conditions. Gorillas at Berlin Zoo are part of cutting-edge AI project to protect their endangered relatives in the wild. The project, presented by the Hasso-Plattner Institute, uses cameras to collect data on gorillas' behavior. This AI-driven system can track individual gorillas and detect health issues early. With the western lowland gorilla critically endangered, this technology aims at bringing and enhancing conservation efforts. The Madeira River in Brazil is experiencing historic lows due to severe drought. This environmental crisis could also disrupt Brazil's grain exports, increasing costs and delays. Dogs strutted the runway in stylish outfits at Sony Hall, New York City for the Elysian Impact Catwalk Fur Baby Fashion Show. The event featured 21 dogs, designers and models raising funds for animal welfare charities. The fashion show was part of New York Fashion Week, which runs from September 6th till 11th. This unique event brought attention to both fashion and animal welfare causes. Ralph Lauren launched New York Fashion Week with a glamorous show in the Hamptons. The event featured supermodels like Naomi Campbell and Christy Turlington, with stars like Jude Law and Jill Biden in attendance. Macau's local design brands were featured in an international fashion exhibition in Hong Kong. The Swell Sculpture Festival returns to the Gold Coast, showcasing incredible artworks along the beach. Over 60 sculptures from 350 artists will dominate Karimbam Beach for 10 days. The festival celebrates its 20th year, has helped launch many prominent artists' careers. UK Queen Camilla made her first visit to the English National Palace since becoming its patron. The visit highlighted her commitment to the arts and support for the institution. Prince William visited London's Saatchi Gallery to explore the Homelessness Reframed exhibition. The artwork delves into the complexities of homelessness across the United Kingdom. The Homelessness Reframed exhibition in London runs until the 20th of September, offering a deep reflection on social issues. Nepali Hindu women are celebrating the grand festival of Teej across the country. As part of the tradition, they fast and pray for prosperity, longevity and good health. Google Photos has upgraded its search function with conversational AI, allowing the users to find images using natural descriptive queries. This update is available for both Android and iOS users. Additionally, some users in the US are testing a new feature called Ask Photos through Google Labs. Demi Moore's The Substance received a standing ovation at Cannes, also premiered at the Toronto Film Festival. Amy Adams is set to produce and star in the comedy film Lazy Susans. The movie, written by Oscar nominees, centers on a group of mothers forming a rock band. Indie rock band English Teacher won the Mercury Prize for its debut album called This Could Be Texas at Abbey Road Studios in London. Singapore's director Yu Shui Hua's latest psychological drama called Stranger Eyes premieres at the Venice Film Festival. The film delves into themes of surveillance and privacy. Members of music band called the Tragically Hip walked over the red carpet at the Toronto International Film Festival for the world premiere of a docu-series. The docu-series, titled The Tragically Hip No Dress Rehearsal, celebrates the Canadian rock band and the legacy of its late vocalist George Downey. Sicilian Letters, a gripping new film about Sicilian mafia boss Matteo Messina Denaro, premiered at the Venice Film Festival. The movie, directed by Fabio Grassadonia and Antonio Piazza, will be competing for the Golden Lion Award at the festival. India's classic film Veer Zara is set to re-release in theatres across the country on 13th of September. The film was originally released back in the year 2004. Anil Kapoor has been featured in Time's 2024 AI list. He is the only Indian honoured in the list that highlights global influencers in AI. India's Praveen Kumar clinched a gold medal in men's high jump T64 event at the Paris Paralympics. Earlier, Kapil Parmar became the first Indian judoka to win a Paralympics medal by winning bronze in men's 60 kg J1 category. Indian athlete and reigning world champion Simran advanced to the semi-final of women's 200-meter T12 event at Paris Paralympics. India's ace javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra qualified for the Diamond League final, which is to be held in Brussels on 13th and 14th of September. Arena Sabalenka clinched a spot in the US Open final with a gritty 6-3, 7-6 victory over Emma Navarro. World number 1 Yannick Sinner will take on Jack Draper in men's singles semi-final on Friday. In a major achievement, Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 900th goal in Portugal's Nation League game against Croatia. Euro 2024 champions Spain were held to a dull goalless draw against Serbia in Nations League Group 4. Two-time World Cup winner and one of the greatest goal scorers in US women's national team history, Alex Morgan retires. New Zealand is adding Vangana Herath and Vikram Rathore as the coaching staff for one-off test against Afghanistan in India. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere, keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.